Hi, this is Tim Campsell at Action Coach of Indiana with our Business Spotlight series. And the purpose is to interview and promote local businesses. And we do that through this interview process, and then we share it on our social channels and email database. The reason for that is when small businesses are strong, then the economy is strong. When local businesses are strong, the economy is strong. And today I have the pleasure of meeting with Amanda. Amanda, welcome to the show. It's great to have you on today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Wonderful. Well, before we get into the business side, I'll have you introduce yourself to the audience and just tell us a little bit about your personal background.
Sure. So my name is Amanda DiPetro. I am the Vice President of New Market Development here at Bierman ABA. I am new to the ABA space, or newer, with just under 2 years working for this ABA agency. Prior to that, I spent my entire career as a retail executive, so focused on supporting talent development and real estate development, and really working from a client services perspective. So lots of parallels within this business, but a shift in terms of working with a group of clinicians and really supporting families and children in a pretty great way.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations on your new adventure.
Thank you.
So let's get into the business side.
Sure.
I have what I think is a fun question. So I asked folks if you had 60 seconds to tell a commercial for your business, what would you say about the business?
Sure. So Bierman was founded in 2006. We currently have 4 clinics that are located in the state of Indiana, but we also have clinics in Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Jersey, and we are just getting ready to open up in Arizona, soon to be other states. So we focus on research-based ABA therapy for children with autism. ABA is considered to be the gold standard for autism spectrum disorder by the Surgeon General, as well as the American Academy of Pediatrics. These programs are specialized and individualized by child. So each kiddo that comes into our program is treated one-on-one by a therapist throughout their day, and they are supervised by a board-certified behavior analyst. And what makes us a leading provider and really differentiates us from other ABA agencies is that we are really strongly focused on outcomes. So dedicated measurement to the science. And our goal is to fuse the science and learning to accelerate progress and really transform the lives of these children and their families.
Well, that sounds wonderful. Can you tell us, what does ABA stand for?
I can. It's Applied Behavior Analysis.
Fantastic. Wonderful. All right. So who do you guys serve? Who's your ideal client, or what we call a target audience?
Yeah, so we treat children from ages 2 to 9. We do have some learners that halo a little bit lower and a little bit older. And our ideal client is any family that has a child that they suspect is on the spectrum and needs a diagnosis, or has recently been diagnosed and their physician is recommending ABA therapy for their treatment.
Fantastic. And where are your locations here in Indiana?
We are located in Avon, Fort Wayne, Westfield, and Broad Ripple.
Fantastic. So COVID has had an impact on all of us over the last year and a half. So what's been the greatest impact that it's had on your business?
Oh, goodness. Well, if I rewind to the onset of COVID in March of 2020, what I would consider our proudest accomplishment is that we were able in 48 hours to pivot our entire business from being center-based to being home-based. So the continuity of care for our clients and their families was essentially uninterrupted during that time. And we were able to prepare and train our people. We were able to support with additional family services. We were able to implement teletherapy where that was appropriate for the client and their families. And, in turn ended up building an entirely new skill set for our staff across the board who had only worked in a clinic-based environment. And they had several months of in-home experience. And then we were able to systematically bring kids back into the clinics when it was safe to do so. So we essentially had zero interruption of business. And then the other thing I'll just note is, while there were so many negative impacts out there, we weren't able to just survive during COVID. We were able to thrive and continue to support new families in need, opening 2 new clinics during the heat of COVID.
Wow.
We opened a clinic in New Jersey, and then we opened a second in Rhode Island during that time frame.
That's awesome. So I think I heard you say within 48 hours you were able to pivot. What enabled you guys to be so fast?
So I think first, there is a high level of consistency from a clinical execution perspective, from location to location. As a non-clinician, observing the level of consistency from center to center throughout our states, it is absolutely incredible what these therapists and behavior analysts, our speech and OT folks are able to deliver. We have a really experienced chief clinical officer who runs our clinical leg of the business, and she really has devised these programs from the ground up. So I think there is what we call internally a Bierman way, and there just is no wavering from that. So being able to take those skills and transition them from the center environment to the home environment, it was really impressive to be part of that. And the piece of that I managed was really the logistics around scheduling and supporting communication with families, but it truly was the clinical team that was able to take their very precise training and experience and implement that quite seamlessly in home environments.
That's amazing. So does this open up a new offering potential ongoing is in home?
It gives us the opportunity to flex if we had a family that was in need, if there were specific circumstances, but our niche is really clinic-based, and there is science and research and evidence behind why clinic-based is a preferred place of service. But it does allow us, as we're opening up new markets, as we are building out new spaces, to begin to service families who may need us right away in home before we can transition them into a new building.
Wonderful. So here's an interesting question, Amanda. It's been said that smart people learn from the mistakes and wise people learn from the mistakes of others. So
yeah,
what's a mistake that you guys have made along the way that you'd be willing to share so that other entrepreneurs can learn from your business's experience?
Yeah. So I think, gosh, the last year and a half in terms of recency, there's been so much learning opportunity, right? We've done a million things well and a million things, that we could have done better. I think, to answer that question specifically, I would say the one thing that we have learned is that because ABA is such a new space, it really is newer science. We have had to, over time, implement more internal programs to have homegrown board certified behavior analysts. We found that, this was just not a profession that was growing so rapidly on its own externally in terms of recruiting talent, that we needed to recruit talent and train them, provide them their supervision hours that are part of their master's degree program, put them through really intense clinician and training programs in order for us to grow at the pace that we need to in order to support the families in need. So I think that's probably been the biggest learning curve, is what do we need to do for this to grow from a talent perspective. So we're better at it now, but for sure, that's been a place of growth.
I like what you're saying in terms of, not relying on external to develop the talent that you need, but you guys took it upon yourself to be proactive and do that
Yeah.
yourselves, so you weren't relying on something you couldn't control.
Correct.
Yeah, that's amazing. Awesome. I
Thank
know
you.
a lot of folks can benefit from that, because especially right now that finding talent across the board is a challenge. So the more folks could bring that in-house and train their own talent, I think would benefit a number of industries.
It's very specialized, in this space. And I think, one of the things that building high performing teams internally does is it also allows then other people who are maybe on the front lines or in an entry level role, who aren't sure if this is a place they want to have a career, or don't know how they could translate other skills, to grow their career in ABA. They're now inspired and motivated by the people that they see supervising these cases that are making these changes for these families. So it really creates a nice flywheel, if you will, from a talent perspective. So it benefits us, it benefits the families that we serve, it benefits the families that are out there we've yet to serve.
Yeah, awesome. That's fantastic. So Amanda, what do you feel is going to be the biggest challenge as you guys look out over the next 12 months?
Oh, goodness. Well, the challenge in the space of ABA is really the same day in and day out. There are, 1 in 54 children that are diagnosed with autism, and we could open, 100 clinics a day full of clinicians and not have enough, people to serve all of the families in need.
Wow.
It's really quite staggering. So I think, the challenge for us is growing at a pace that will never compromise our quality. So every decision that we make in our company is really filtered through, will this improve the lives of the children? The end. So as a company that is interested to grow our footprint broader across the United States, staying focused on what we do, why we do it, and how we do it, and never allowing any compromise to happen, I think will stretch us. And we're ready for that challenge, but that's probably the biggest challenge on our plates, coming up. I'll say also coupled with, we're now seeing a different kind of surge for COVID 2.0 here. And while we are really confident in all of our current protocols, we have quite a bit of hindsight now to go back and look at in terms of steps that we took in 2020 to keep our team and our clients safe. We don't know how that will evolve. What we do know is that we're prepared to respond and that we've been successful in the past. But we're learning, like everybody else, around the science of COVID, and we really want to be able to continue creating, that continuity of care for our clients the same way we did when we were at the level of cases that we're seeing in the United States now.
Right.
Going forward. I'm sure that's on everybody's.
Absolutely.
That's on everybody's challenge list right now.
I love the core of what you said earlier of it's all about the kids care. I love that you said kiddos too. That makes it so much more personal.
Yeah.
So I love that's the heart of who you guys are, and every decision that you make is centered around that. That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
So Amanda, second last question here.
Sure.
We've got your contact information so that we can include that along with this video. Is there anything else that you want to make sure that we cover today?
Well, we just opened our doors a couple of weeks ago to a brand new location in Avon, Indiana. So that is a brand new facility that is expanded. I will also share that we consistently have children who graduate from our program. So we're always ready to take on new families with children who have a new diagnosis. I will just say that the sooner the better, the earlier we're able to start working with them. That early intervention from an intensive therapy perspective allows, these children to make faster progress. So we are open and ready for new clients.
Awesome. Amanda, what's the best way for folks to find out if you're the right option for them?
Yeah, that's a great question. So they can go to our website, which is Bierman ABA.com, and fill out a contact form, and someone from our client intake team will respond almost immediately, and can then, gather some information from the family and their needs and where they are in the diagnostic process, share a little bit about our services and what a typical program looks like, and go from there.
Fantastic. So we'll make sure to include that website along with this video so that folks can fill out that form and learn more about your company. So last question, Amanda, what's been most inspiring to you over all the craziness of the last 18 months?
Oh, goodness. The kids. It's always about the kids. So when you walk through the door of one of our clinics and you have the opportunity to experience seeing growth in a child from the work that these therapists have dedicated their life to, you might watch a child go from being nonverbal to being able to share their name and their favorite color and who their siblings are. The stories that we get from parents about the small adjustments that are made that are so big in their life. Like maybe it's a kid saying to mom or dad, I love you, for the first time, and they might not have been able to express that. So for me, most inspiring is always the children, and the level of dedication and precision that the clinical team is able to deliver. It's just a wonder to experience.
Oh, that is so incredible. So tell us again, the 4 locations here in Indiana are where?
Are Avon, Fort Wayne, Westfield, and Broad Ripple.
Fantastic. Awesome. So that does conclude our interview. For those listening, if you've heard something that has piqued your interest, please log on to the website, fill out that form, learn more about how Amanda and her team can help you guys to help your child to grow and develop, and from a science standpoint to help improve their quality of life as well as improve your quality of life. And as you heard, it's all about the kiddos. So you know that you're in good hands when you take advantage of this opportunity. So again, I'll include the link here so that Amanda and her team can take care of you guys. As a thank you to everyone appearing on the show, we do offer a complimentary coaching session. So Amanda will talk about that offline. And it's been a pleasure learning about you and the company. And I just wish you guys tremendous success.
Thank you so much. Thanks for giving me an opportunity to share about Bierman.
You are very welcome. Have a great day.
Thank you.